Hello everybody, I'm Oliver and welcome back to the Daintii channel. Today I am very excited to be talking to you guys about the Super Mario 35th Anniversary Nintendo Direct, which aired 2 Thursdays ago by the time this video is uploaded. And it might seem a little bit like old news by now, but I personally am super excited about it, and I like to upload these videos consistently on Fridays and record them pretty early in the week just so I can get it out of the way. So for me, it's not really that much old news. It might be by then, but I figured you guys might want to hear my impressions anyways. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to be going through every part of the Direct, everything that they announced, and I'm going to be giving my impressions and talking to you guys about it. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. As you can see, obviously, by what's going on over here, I am a huge fan of Mario. It's probably my favorite game series of all time. You know that Paper Mario is my favorite video game of all time, and that is part of the Mario franchise. So I was super excited about this. You know, there was rumors going on for a long time about what they were going to do for the 35th anniversary, and when I woke up on Thursday morning and I saw that they shadow dropped the Direct, I was super excited. Personally, I think it was better that they released the Direct, like just straight up dropped it out of nowhere, than making us wait for it. That way we could just see it right away, and I think it's a pretty good strategy. And you know, I like the format of the Direct. I prefer they make actual Directs than just, you know, announce games randomly on Twitter, like with no warning, like they did with Paper Mario the Origami King, for example. But I also like the fact that they just shadow dropped the Direct and didn't tell anyone about it. They just released it right away. So I think that was pretty cool. So yeah, I was super excited, and as soon as I watched it, every announcement got me super excited, and I kept waiting for the big one, you know, the one that had been rumored, and we'll talk about that later. So yeah, let's just start off with the first one. Alright, and the first thing they talked about / announced was this neat little Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. Crossover thing. If you don't know, Game & Watch is this old, you know, handheld console that Nintendo used to make. It was their first ever handheld console they made in the 1980s. And this one can play the original Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 2, and it acts as a clock. And this is a little collector's item. They said it's going to have a limited run in November, which might mean that it is going to be like a collector's, you know, scalper's item, that it's going to go up, skyrocket in price. And I am pretty interested in it. It's not something that, like, you know, I'm like super into. Like, I have no real desire to replay the original Super Mario Bros. On a tiny little handheld. But it's a neat piece of Nintendo history, the Game & Watch. And I never actually owned any sort of Game & Watch things. I know they released Club Nintendo Rewards, like reproduction Game & Watch things, or like Game & Watch collections on the DS and stuff. I never really owned any of those, so it's gonna be nice for me to get that, and so I'm gonna hope that I can actually pre-order it in time, and I hope it's not too expensive. They said it's gonna be around like $45 US, so for me, I think they said it's gonna be like $70 Canadian, which is a lot, but it's probably gonna be worth it because it's probably gonna be very valuable soon, and for that reason, I'm gonna pick it up just because I know it's gonna have a lot of value. I can keep the box, and it's gonna be really cool. And maybe I can use it as a clock too. I think that'd be kind of cool, you know? Like even in my videos, I could just set it right here and you guys can see the time, or it'll like spruce up the imagery, you know? So I think that'd be cool. You know, it's not something that's super interesting for a lot of people, but for me, I think it's a really cool collector's item, and hopefully I can get my hands on it. The next thing they announced is something that I'm sure many people were expecting for a long time now, and it is a port of Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. And if you watch my remasters and remakes that I want video, you'll know that I said I really wanted a port of Super Mario 3D World. Even though I've already played through the whole game and 100%ed it, I think it'd be really cool to play it again. Like, I really like the game, and it's one of my first, well, sorry, it's not one of my first Mario games, but it's one of the first ones I really remember when I started really getting into gaming. Like, that was one that I actually got hyped for the release, and played it. I got it for Christmas, and I played it a lot, and I thought it was super fun. So I'm really happy that this is finally announced, and they also teased a special something called Bowser's Fury. It looks pretty cool. It looked kind of like scary and like spooky kind of thing. So I'm really excited to see what that is. And they said it's gonna have online multiplayer too, and with how online multiplayer worked in Super Mario Maker 2, I'm a little worried. I don't want it to be super laggy and completely unplayable, but I am really looking forward to playing it, and I was thinking maybe even playing through the whole game with my dad. because I think that'd be fun little project for the two of us since I've already played it. It might be interesting to spruce it up by playing it exclusively in multiplayer with someone else. I think that'd be a fun project, and I'm super excited for it to come out. It's gonna come out in February, and it's not something that I've pre-ordered just yet because I think it's a little bit too far in advance, and you know, I could just pre-order literally everything, so I'll probably wait till around closer to when it comes out, and we have more information on Bowser's Fury to pre-order it, but I will get it because I'm a sucker for Mario games, and I love Super Mario 3D World, and I'm super happy that it's finally getting a port to Switch. And the next thing they talked about / announced is Super Mario Bros. 35, which is a really cool concept. It's like Tetris 99, where you have 35 different people playing the original Super Mario Bros. And they're all interacting to see who can be #1. It's kind of like a battle royale type thing with only 35 players, but I think it looks really cool. It has some neat little features, like when you defeat an enemy, it'll get moved to another player's, instance of the game. You're not all playing together, you're all playing in your own instance, which I think is pretty cool. Like I said with Super Mario Maker 2, hopefully the online works well. If Super Mario Maker 2 is anything to go by, it might not, but hopefully it does. And it's going to be free for Switch Online members, which I am obviously a member of that, so I think it's going to be pretty interesting to play. And yeah, it looks really cool. It's a super cool concept that I'm totally gonna play when it comes out. They said it comes out October 1st, so you'll definitely see me playing that if I'm not preoccupied with maybe something else, something else that they may have talked about in this direct. Hopefully this game will be pretty fun and it'll work pretty well. And the last thing is that unfortunately they did say it would be limited run. It would be stopping on March 31st, 2020, which I think is really weird. I don't know why they did that, because it seems like a super cool concept that people would want to be playing for a long time, put a lot of time into it just to become the best. So I think it's really weird, and I guess it's only like, it's only something that's limited, There's no way they would do that for anything major. Alright, so yeah, let's just talk about the next thing. Alright, and the next thing they announced was Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Now, this is basically a little Mario Kart RC car that looks like Mario. I think they also have one that looks like Luigi. And it has this neat little camera that comes on the top, so you can play on the Switch like Mario Kart, but in the real world. Like, you can set up these little tracks, and it looks pretty complex, and it looks actually really cool. But my problem with this is that it's something that probably doesn't have enough content for me to want to play it for more than 10 minutes. And it's also going to be pretty expensive. They said it's going to be like $100 US, so I think that's going to be like $130 in Canada. So, that's pretty steep. And if Nintendo Labo is anything to go off of, I really hope I'm not going to just play it, like get it and be super excited about it and play it, and then 10 minutes later I forget about it completely and never touch it again. I hope they have enough content to justify the high price tag. Although it is really neat, it's not something that I'm going to pre-order, so hopefully it doesn't go out of stock and like become a super limited collector's item. It's not something that I'm going to get when it releases. I'll look to see if it's really worth getting. If there's a ton of content in it, and if it's really, really cool, maybe I'll pick it up. Also, another problem is that I have carpet floors, so it might not work at my house. Yeah, so it's something that some people might be really interested in, especially little kids. I think this is a really cool kids product like Labo. I think, like, if I was really young, I would be super hyped about this and I would need to own it. Like, it's really cool technology, and you can even race other people. Yeah, so if you have lots of friends and if you have a big house and you can set the custom tracks up any way you want, I think it would be really cool. But for me personally, it's just something that's not for me. And also I heard that it doesn't actually come with a proper game cartridge. It only comes with a download code. So as someone who collects a lot of Switch games, it's not really worth it for the collection. It won't really fit on my shelf, obviously. So I'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna see what happens when it comes out, and then I will decide whether I buy it or not. And maybe I'll make a video on it if I do, but we'll see. They said it's coming out in October, and a lot of stuff, or sorry, maybe November, I'm not really sure. And a lot of stuff in this direct is coming out really soon, which makes me think, when was this all actually planned for? If, like, wasn't happening, maybe this would be spaced out across the whole year. So we're gonna see how it turns out, and it's coming fairly soon, so you don't have to wait too long. And after the Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, they kind of just went over a lot of small stuff, so I won't really be talking about all of it, They talked about, like, Mario-themed shoes and clothing. Like, obviously I'm not gonna dive into that, I don't really care about that. But one thing they did talk about was the Mario Kart Tour, Super Mario Kart Tour. which looks pretty cool. You know, those little sprites from the original Super Mario Kart in the new game looks pretty neat. And one thing about Mario Kart Tour that I'm not really sure if I'm ever going to talk about in any other video, so I'll just say it right now, is that I love all the different costumes and the wide diversity of characters. The only problem is, you know, there's so many microtransactions and stuff. It's basically impossible to get all these characters unless you spend an egregious amount of money. So I really wish that Nintendo would make a proper Mario Kart game with this much love poured into it, like all these costumes and different characters and lots of cool stuff, so that I could play it without having to spend, you know, hundreds of dollars on in-game cosmetics. So, because that's just not something I'm willing to do. So, you know, I guess that's my little rant about Mario Kart Tour. I never really get to talk about mobile games, and I'm probably never going to talk about Mario Kart Tour. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on Mario Kart Tour. And they talked about other stuff, you know, like I said, just other merch, and you know, there's going to be a Splatfest, there's going to be Animal Crossing items. So I think it's really cool that all the other games, you know, all the other live Nintendo games that are still getting content are all going to be celebrating Mario 35th anniversary. It's going to be a huge celebration, which I think is really cool. And next up, I believe this is the second last thing they announced. They announced that Super Mario All-Stars for the SNES is going to be ported to SNES Switch Online, which is something that's really cool. Obviously, I own this, but I haven't really played it that much. For one thing, my SNES unfortunately stopped working for some reason. I don't know why. It's broken. I might have to get a new one, so I haven't really been able to play this that much. And I really like Super Mario All-Stars, and I think it's really cool that they're doing this because you don't really see that game being put on there that often, because I guess Nintendo would rather you buy all 3 of the original, you know, games that are included in that package. Rather than just getting them all in one package. Like on the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console, I don't believe that was an option to buy on there. Probably, yeah, like as I said, it would probably be way better for them if you could buy all the games individually and spend more money than playing this. They released it on the Wii a while back, like as a special 25th anniversary edition, like it was a physical game, which I think is pretty cool. I haven't picked it up yet, but it's something that I'm probably gonna pick up eventually because it looks really cool. And this is a really cool game, and I've actually played quite a bit of it, you know. I was away last weekend before I recorded this video, and so I put a lot of time into that. You know, I actually managed to beat Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, which are games that I've never really beaten before, and I always prefer the All-Stars versions because they just look and sound better. You know, it's really nice that Nintendo went back to the game and completely remade it with new visuals, new music, new everything, and that's really cool. And yeah, so now I can finally say I've actually beaten the original Super Mario Bros. Because I haven't before, and the Lost Levels, and I'm going on Super Mario Bros. 2, so we'll see about that. And eventually I'll beat Super Mario Bros. 3, and then I'll finally be able to say I beat the original Mario Bros. Trilogy. And the Switch, of course, is perfect for that. It has great visuals, you know, I can see the games in pixel perfect mode, and you can play it wherever you want, and there's save states. And, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is so hard. Like, even the save states, I struggled. You know, might call me a cheater for using save states, but I can understand why Nintendo of America thought that the game would be too hard for Americans, so they released the other Super Mario Bros. 2 instead. Because that game is just insane. You know, like, there's some levels where I probably would have to repeat the entire level like hundreds of times had I not used save states, and even with the save states, it was still pretty hard. So, yeah, that was actually a really fun experience. So yeah, Super Mario All-Stars on Switch. I'm really glad that this is on there right now. Alright, and finally, the last announcement, the one that everyone was waiting for, and the one that got leaked online months earlier, which is really unfortunate because they kind of spoiled the surprise, but it was still kind of cool anyways to see it finally actually announced. Super Mario 3D All-Stars for the Nintendo Switch. This is them taking Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy and putting it on Switch. And I honestly have mixed feelings about this. You know, like if you ask, this is probably one of the like most hype announcements ever. You know, if you ask me at any point in time what would be like one of the hypest things Nintendo could do, it would be a collection like this. You know, obviously the first thing that I would want is Paper Mario Trilogy on the Switch, remastered, remade, everything. But having all the 3D Mario games, well not all of them, but a lot of them, the most iconic ones, on the Switch, that is something that I would have gone bonkers over. But then I realized that, honestly, this is kind of pretty bare bones. Like, they didn't really do anything, like, I mean, they upgraded the textures and they put them in HD, you know, native HD. Well, Super Mario 64 is still in 720p for some reason, and they made Super Mario Sunshine 16:9. You know, and they changed some of the button prompts. You know, they put a little bit of effort into it, but honestly, I would have much rather seen this game completely remade and seeing Sunshine and Galaxy, you know. I mean, I guess Sunshine and Galaxy are fine because they didn't really need that much work anyways, or at least Galaxy didn't. But if you watch my remakes and remasters video, that I mentioned that Sunshine needed a lot of work, you know, with the controls, and there was other stuff that needed fixing, like the blue coins and stuff like that. So, I'm willing to bet that those issues in Sunshine were not fixed. You know, I guess only time will tell, we'll have to wait to see. But honestly, it feels like they didn't really put that much effort into it. And to add on, they said it's going to be a limited release. It's only going to be released from September 18th, which is super close, by the way, and I'm super excited that I'm going to be playing this so soon. And it's from September 18th to March 31st, once again, that March 31st date. I don't know why. For me personally, it doesn't really affect me that much, because of course I'm going to pre-order it, and, you know, I'm going to have it. And for me, it only means that the game is going to increase in value pretty quickly, so that's pretty cool for me. But honestly, you know, a lot of other people are missing out. I would be fine if they released these games individually after that, but, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it feels like they didn't really put that much effort into the ports. Like, that's what they're not really remasters, they're just ports, you know, with some enhanced graphics, you know, they're basically just enhanced ports. But honestly, you know, that's Nintendo for you. And, you know, if they remade these games completely, like Super Mario 64, if they completely remade it later, I would still buy it, because I'm a sucker for Nintendo, and I would still want to play that remade Super Mario 64. And I am still pretty excited for it, because I've never fully completed 64, Sunshine, or Galaxy, and Galaxy I've barely played, so it's going to be really cool to visit these games, you know, pretty much for the first time, and be able to play them in HD on the Switch. So I'm pretty happy about that, but other than that, it's kind of disappointing, but, you know, I guess I can forgive it. So yeah, those are my mixed feelings. I'm sure a lot of people have those mixed feelings too, but, you know, it is what it is. And Super Mario 3D All-Stars, it's still something that is pretty exciting. Alright, and with that, that's everything that I talked about in the Direct. I hope this video wasn't too short. I don't really know how long it was, but we'll see. And overall, this Direct was really good. It's the first time Nintendo has done a Direct, you know, in such a long time. You know, they had those mini partner directs, whatever, but I didn't really care about those because they were just third-party announcements. So it's really cool that Nintendo did this, and honestly, it's kind of sad that they were probably planning this to be a year-wide spanning thing. Like, you know, it was gonna be all year that the Super Mario Celebration was gonna be happening. Now they have to cram it all in to these 6 months, you know, from September to March, and that's honestly kind of sad. It probably would have been way better, you know, this Super Nintendo World was gonna open this year even. So I think that would have been really cool if they actually were actually able to span the whole year, celebrating Mario, celebrating everything. But unfortunately, you know, some things just you can't avoid, so they have to cut it short. So that's pretty unfortunate. But overall, I was pretty happy with this Direct. I'm really excited to play Super Mario 3D All-Stars when it comes out. You know, play Galaxy for pretty much the first time and complete that. And I'm also excited for some other stuff like Super Mario 35. Super Mario 3D World Port, that kind of stuff I'm pretty excited for. So let me know what you guys thought about the Direct in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. And of course, you can join my Discord and you can talk to me there or follow me on Twitter. Do all that kind of stuff. You know, all my social links will be in the description. And yeah, so if you like this video, remember to subscribe, like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!